Cheap, popular, or flashy looking mouse are what people tend to go for when choosing a new mouse. But here's what no one tells you. The right mouse can save you hours, boost your productivity, and even save you from long-term wrist injuries. And to make it more practical, I'll be comparing two of the most popular mice on the market today: the Logitech G Pro X Superlight and the Logitech MX3S. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for in a mouse, which ones to avoid, and whether you've been using the wrong mouse all along. Hey Earthlings, let's start off with the first thing you notice when you pick up a mouse. It's weight. Weight plays a huge role in how a mouse feels when it's in use, especially over long hours. A lighter mouse like the G Pro Wireless gives you increased flick speeds, which are useful in fast-paced games, while heavier mice like the MX3S gives you increased control and stability. Most recent gaming mice are focused on reducing weight as much as possible, leading to things like crazy mouse designs, and sometimes you can even get half a mouse, all in the name of reducing as much weight as possible. Take the G Pro X Superlight as an example. As the name implies, it's a super light mouse weighing in at just 63 grams, around the weight of a small kiwi fruit, making it perfect for fast-paced gaming where you need to track, flick, and move with speed. Meanwhile, most non-gaming mouse are usually on the heavier side. The MX3S, for example, comes in at double the weight of the Superlight. However, this extra weight gives it a more premium feel, with a low center of gravity, which is great for precision scrolling, steady cursor movements, and productivity workflows. Next, let's talk about the second most important thing, which is your mouse sensor. A mouse sensor is the technology which is inside the mouse that detects movement on your desk and translates it into precise cursor movements on your screen. Most high-end gaming mice like the Logitech G Pro X Superlight uses a high-end optical sensor, which features things like high DPI, extremely low latency, and pinpoint accuracy, all of which are extremely important for playing fast-paced FPS titles. In contrast, productivity-focused mice like the MX3S uses sensors that prioritizes versatility and control over speed. This MX3S uses Logitech's dark field sensor, which is still a pretty high-end optical sensor. However, it has lower DPI and slightly higher latency than the G Pro X Superlight. This won't be a problem though for non-gaming users, as the sensor is more than capable when it comes to multitasking, document work, creative tools, and general productivity. However, know that the quality of your mouse sensor is what makes a huge difference. A high-end sensor makes your mouse feel like an extension of your arm, but those lower-end sensors you find in cheaper mouse can feel sluggish, unresponsive, or just off. If you've ever used a mouse and it was laggy, skipping, or not going where you directed it to go, chances are that the sensor is most likely the reason for this. But if you think your sensor is alright and your mouse still feels a bit sluggish, then maybe you need to worry about the next point, which is shape and size. If you've been enjoying the video so far, please do make sure to leave a like and a comment on the video so YouTube knows that you like the video and it can recommend it to more people. Also, we are trying to get to 1,000 subs and your help will be extremely helpful. Isn't that tautology? Your help will be extremely appreciated. Shape and size might be the most underrated factors when choosing a mouse. If you've ever felt hand cramps, weird wrist angles, or fatigue after long use, it is most likely because your hand doesn't fit your mouse. Different mice comes in different shapes and sizes, and that directly affects how well the mouse feels in our hands and how comfortable it is after long usage. From larger, more ergonomic shapes to smaller, more compact ones. Sometimes you can even get half a mouse, all in the name of reducing as much weight as possible. And all of this plays a huge role in how a mouse is used and how it feels. Most productivity mice like the MX3S are designed to be ergonomic, meaning they have a larger, weird shape that follows the contour of your whole hand. Ever seen one of these vertical mice? Yes, that is an example of what peak ergonomics looks like. It might not look the best, but it sure gives you the best feel in terms of neutral support for your wrists, making it perfect for hours of long usage while feeling very comfortable. But this comfort, however, comes with a trade-off. You're mostly limited to using a palm grip style with these types of mouse because the size and shape shape leaves no room for other grip styles like fingertip or claw. On the flip side, gaming mouse like the G Pro X Superlight and other popular generic mouse are designed to be less ergonomic, with a smaller and symmetric or ambidextrous design. But that sometimes is quite intentional. Wait, hear me out. The more compact shape and size gives you the flexibility to use a claw, fingertip, or even a palm grip style, depending on your palm size and your usage. This makes them much more suitable towards gamers, especially those who have the most unconventional grip styles. In some rare cases, you'd find a mouse like the Razer Naga Chroma, a gaming mouse that takes inspiration from productivity mice. It has a more ergonomic shape than your usual gaming mouse, but doesn't perform its best as a gaming mouse due to its weight. Hey there, future me here. I wanted to come back to add something real quick. Please stay away from those mice that are shaped flat like half-used soaps. You know the ones I'm talking about. They have really bad ergonomics and could give your wrist carpal tunnel syndrome. That's all for now. Bye. Next up, let's talk about buttons and functionality, because not all mouse are built the same. Different mouse comes with different button layouts and features, and even in some small cases like the Magic Mouse, you have completely different setups. And the truth is that most people don't even know what to choose, so pay close attention. One of the things that could make or break your experience with a mouse is the click sound and feel. If you're someone who hates loud clicky buttons, the MX3S might be more of your taste because of its soft and dampened clicks that are almost silent, which makes it perfect for quiet environment. But if you like the sharp, satisfying feedback from a clicky switch, the G Pro Superlight gives you exactly that. It is louder and more tactile, which is something that most gamers want. Now, beyond how the buttons sound, it is what they do that really matters. Most gaming mouse comes with extra buttons right next to your thumb, designed for quick access to in-game controls like melee or switching weapons. These buttons are essential when every second counts, and you need to move quickly without breaking your aim. Productivity mouse, on the other hand, focuses more on convenience and ease of use. The MX3S, for example, comes with a side wheel for horizontal scrolls, making going through documents a breeze. It also has side buttons which can be reconfigured to things like copy and paste. To be clear though, both types of mouse support macros and remapping, but how they are used is dependent on your workflow. Gamers use their extra buttons to react faster in games, while productivity users use the extra buttons to save tons of hours. So depending on what you want to achieve, going with the right mouse is very crucial. Next up, we are going to talk about the connection type. Mouse generally connect in one of three ways: wired, wireless, and dongles. And your choice makes a big difference depending on how you use your mouse and if you want a setup that looks clean. These days, most mice that still come with a wire are either budget or cheap mice. But some high-end mouse still use wires for a couple of reasons. It helps cut down on weight significantly by taking out the battery, and more importantly, it delivers the lowest possible input lag of all the other connections, which is useful for the top 1% of esports players who need every advantage they can get. Because at the end of the day, nothing beats a reliable wired connection. Speaking of reliability, 2.4 GHz dongles also offer low latency connections and near zero input lag while maintaining a clutter-free desk. This is why most top-end gaming mouse like the Logitech G Pro X Superlight choose to use a 2.4 GHz dongle as its main method of connection. However, a major disadvantage to using a 2.4 GHz connection is the range. And this is why most reputable mouse manufacturers include a dongle extender with their mouse. I have personally experienced significant performance drops when there is a distance or obstruction between the mouse and the dongle. So while it is almost as good as a wired connection in terms of latency, it definitely cannot compete in terms of reliability. Bluetooth is also a very popular wireless mode of connection, but has higher latency than both wired and 2.4 GHz dongle connections. However, it still is a top choice for most productivity mouse for one simple reason: convenience. Bluetooth maximizes wireless connectivity by allowing multi-device connection and seamless switching between each devices, which makes it a game changer for those using multiple devices but want to use the same peripherals. When it comes to battery, these days most wireless mouse comes with decent battery life, so usually there's no stress with that. Just make sure to do your findings before proceeding with any mouse. Other things people look out for when buying a mouse, like RGB, software, and colors, are really subjective and they differ by models and manufacturer. Let's be real, it's fun to have a mouse with RGB or a mouse that even matches your setup. However, in the true sense of things, these choices do not make a difference in terms of usability, except you just can't look at a black mouse with a white setup. So once again, do your research and proceed with whichever you feel like. Remember, don't let fancy lights distract you from the things that actually matter, from bad shapes to weak sensors and unnecessary weight. Here is a cheat sheet that I created to help you in your mouse selection. You can screenshot it or download it in high quality using the link in the description below. If you think you have the correct mouse and your system still feels slow, you should check out the video I made about 10 laptop mistakes that you're making and how you can fix them, or just watch whichever video YouTube recommends for you and things that you'll enjoy.